The Lakers, to me, have run out of excuses. They should be a lot better. At least coming in, they look really really good on paper, but they have not shown that in reality.
Yeah,
And at some point, you have to question this Laker team. Are they going to get better? What are they going to do to get better? Are they going to make a mid-season trade? Maybe they look on the market and see what they can do a lot better, because this is a game they should have won. I understand they were undermanned. They were a bit shorthanded, but there's no more excuses. I mean, I'm tired of it. I think Jeannie Buss by now is tired of it, and I think Frank Vogel is definitely the guy that's on the hot seat right now. I'm gonna say it again. If the Lakers don't turn it around before January or by the end of January, I think Frank Vogel is out, because he's a big part of the problem, not keeping this team together, not holding things together for this organization, and then his bizarre rotations, substitutions that keep harming this team more than it's helping the Lakers. I mean, there's just so many fingers you could point at. It's not
yeah.
one person that you could blame on this team. There's multiple people that you can point your finger at and blame for this debacle and for what we've seen from this Laker team. But it's pathetic, it's exhausting, and quite frankly, it's not getting any better.
Okay, so before we get Coach Dante in there, I just want to ask you guys this question. And then, the people, you guys in the comments, please give me the answer as well. What can what can David Fisdale or whoever will take Frank Vogel's spot? What and I believe Frank Vogel should be fired. But what can they come in and they can tell these players something different to get them to play defense, team defense? What can they do to tell teach them? What can they say to make these guys not turn the ball over as much as they do?
Egos.
What can they say different that Frank Vogel's not already saying?
There's one word, egos. There's a bunch of egos on this team.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of egos on this team.
Right.
And what needs to happen is these egos need to be taken away. Let me show you a perfect example of how egos could put aside will make a team better. The Phoenix Suns, they have one of the most egotistical guys in Jay Crowder, and even his ego is contained, and they're playing phenomenal. Why can't we do it? We have LeBron. LeBron, you need to take leadership at this point because Frank Vogel, he ain't doing it. He's one of those coaches where it's like, oh, Anthony Davis, you don't want to play the five? Okay. Oh, Russell Westbrook, you don't want to shoot? Oh, it's cool with me. That's the type of coach he is. He's also a defensive coach. We keep forgetting about that. He's a defensive coach that can't even make defensive adjustments. So at this point, he was known for defensive coaching, and now he can't even defensive adjust. At that point, what do you call him? He's not even a coach to me at this point. He's just a yes man. He's just yes, 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 yes. And somebody in this locker room, whether it be LeBron, whether it be Jeannie Buss, and Buss, I don't want to hear shit about until we're fully healthy because you need to do something about this team. Rob Pelinka as well. The thing is here is that you need to tell people like Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis, hey, do what you're best at. Put your egos aside and let's win this game. Let's win these games. No matter if your stat line is horrible and my stat line is good or your stat line is good, no matter what, we should win the game. Let's play as one. This team is not playing at one. They're playing individually. And this
Mm-hmm.
is why every time we win a game, it's by less than 10 points. Sometimes even less than 5 points, and it's in overtime. We should be blowing these guys out of the water. We should be playing better. And at this point, I'll take anybody as on the coaching job. I mean, Frank Vogel don't got it together. So I have to look into it. I have to research more of who's going to take over and stuff. But at this point, somebody needs to make sure these guys put their egos aside, especially if you're not going to trade Russell Westbrook. You got to get that controlled, in my opinion.
All right,
Yeah.
Coach Dante. What was your reaction to this game tonight?
Well said. Well stated.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Big Bro Freddie, for letting me on. My boy Jonathan, Eric, fun doing the game with you tonight. First of all, I thought the Minnesota Timberwolves came out. Uh, they sent a message and Carl Anthony Towns. Again, this shows you a quick example, but the difference between him and Anthony Davis. If you look at early stages of that game, Carl Anthony Towns demanded the basketball against Anthony Davis. He shoots a hook shot over him. And he was taking at Anthony Davis all night long, getting in his chest, getting in his body, and scoring over Anthony Davis at will. Not saying he scored over him every time, but each time Anthony Davis guarded him, he wanted the basketball. While Anthony Davis is facing up, shooting jump shots. Karl Anthony Towns goes to the post and posts him up like a little child. So again, I thought that was big in the game. The turnovers in the third quarter. You had 3 straight possessions where you turned the ball over in the second quarter. Your offensive rotations again. Rondo and Russell Westbrook was on the floor at the same damn time. So you know what Chris Finch goes? He goes 3-2 zone. Who's going to beat me shooting the basketball? Who's going to beat me shooting the basketball? That's what the 3-2 zone is there for. It's manipulating you to shooting the basketball. You beat me in shooting. So who's on the floor besides Russell Westbrook and Rondo? Who can beat me in shooting? Rondo can't beat me in shooting. Russell Westbrook doesn't want to shoot anymore. He's scared to shoot. He doesn't even shoot a mid-range shot. It was one play he had the ball on Karl Anthony Towns. He decides to go to the basket, but you have a mid-range open. You don't even want to shoot that anymore. Jared Vanderbilt averaged 8 rebounds per game. Right. He has 16. You know what those 16 boards? They come off offensive rebounds. Nobody are blocking out. You know what that means? That's a lack of effort in a team that doesn't want it. That is not inspiring. When you see a guy get offensive rebound, the same, this is just one person, Jared Vanderbilt, outplaying the whole Lakers team. That is uninspiring basketball. That is a lack of effort. And it's something not right with this team. And I guarantee you, it's not coming out. But it's something going on in that locker room with the Lakers. It's something that's not coming out. And it's going wrong in that locker room. The best player tonight for the Lakers was Isaiah Thomas.
Yes, the new guy that's on a 10-day contract. Exactly. You know what? You brought up a great point, Coach. There is something going on in the locker room because we saw that the first week of the season. Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis were clashing. They were about to, throw blows. So I mean, there's definitely no chemistry. There's definitely no heart. This team is lackadaisical at times. You've seen that too. They get complacent when they have big leads.
Yep.
I mean, it's not the Laker team that a lot of people had envisioned. It's not that Laker team that a lot of people thought could win an NBA championship. It's not looking like that. And the sad thing is, guys, they have all the ingredients to do it.
Yep.
Because they have so much star power. They have the big name players. Yep. They built the team that should be able to contend for an NBA championship. But when the chemistry is not there, and when players are bumping heads, and when you're not playing defense, which has been a huge problem, because this team has not played any defense at all. I mean, that's been a big part of the problem, which is very surprising to me, by the way, because Frank Vogel is a defensive specialist, and you would think that this team would be more encouraged and more serious about playing defensively. And he has not made the adjustments necessary to help this team be a better defensive team. So, I mean, it's frustrating. It's baffling, to say the least. And I think you point the finger at a number of people. You point the finger at LeBron for being less passive, not aggressive enough. And then you point the finger at Russell Westbrook for throwing off the chemistry, if there was any. And then you point the finger at Frank Vogel for his rotations and his substitutions. And then you point the finger at the front office because Rob Pelinka thought this experiment of his would work, and it's turning out that it's not working. And then you look at Jeannie Buss and you say, well, wow, when are you going to make some moves? When are you going to fire this coach that you have? Because it's simply not working out. So, I mean, you can point the finger at so many people. You can play the blame game, but there's a number of people who are just as guilty as LeBron or Russell Westbrook or Anthony Davis or even Dwight Howard. Hell, even trade him and get him out of town as well. You could maybe make a mid-season trade for him. You could package Russell Westbrook. I mean, you could get these guys out of here because what it's showing too is that Washington won the trade. They won that trade.
Before you get going, Dave McMinimum just gave us an update on Anthony Davis. He says sources for me with Anthony Davis, left knee injury tells ESPN so far all is in good structure, but want to take another image. And then that's good news. You know, good thing is no serious injury.
Right.
Because if you guys watch the injury live, like, hey man, and I agree with Richard Jefferson. Like that's just a freak accident, man. I mean, like I said, a man fell on his knee and it just hyperextended itself. You know, that's just one of those like you so long and lanky, where your legs just everywhere. It's just one of those things that you just wish that the dude can be lucky because we all know when it comes to him and injuries that he's not the most durable guy there is when it comes to the NBA. But let's take a quick break and then we'll continue, you know, talking about this Lakers loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight, you guys.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Network. We on top of our game. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
All right. So, as we look at this game tonight, let's try to find some positive. I know it's hard to find in this game, but what player stood out to you tonight, Eric?
One player, and it's only one player. There's no other player. Isaiah Thomas. Wow. You got something to prove, and you proved it to me today, man. You brought the energy when we needed it. You brought the fight. You had more fight than half of these players on the thing. You played better defense than Russell Westbrook, and you're way smaller than him. So I respect what you did for us, Isaiah Thomas. I'm sorry that your night got ruined by the rest of these guys and the coach. But Isaiah Thomas is the only positive out of this. I can't find anywhere else. I mean, LeBron had an off day, but he deserves an off day. Why do we have to keep depending on LeBron? The point we brought Westbrook in for was to take over that spot. And the fact that we still have LeBron playing 35 plus minutes a game is ridiculous. And shout out to Isaiah Thomas. The only positive thing on this team today, I can't find anywhere else, man. If you guys could find it, good job, but I can't find anywhere.
And for a 36-year-old who's almost 37 years old to be playing that many minutes, that's crazy to me. Because what that's going to do, that's going to wear down his body. And by the time the playoffs come, LeBron's going to be gassed. He's going to be mentally and physically drained, where I don't know if he could, play well in the playoffs after putting so much energy and time into performing in the regular season. So, I mean, it's frustrating. It really is.
Hey, Coach, did you see any other player that stood out to you tonight?
Well, I saw a couple of players. Besides him missing a layup at the start of the game, I thought Kent Bazemore knocked down some timely shots in the game. The try when the times when Minnesota was running off, I thought he hit some timely 3-pointers. like 2 3-pointers in the corner in the third quarter to make Coach Bill Finch calls a timeout. And after that timeout, it was just pretty much all Minnesota, and IT was the best player tonight for the Lakers. But I thought Ken Bazemore made some timely 3-pointers in the game. I thought he had nine points. He had 9 points tonight, but other than that, I don't think I saw anyone. LeBron does deserve an off night pretty much because he has to do so much to keep this team in it. But I'll say it's no excuses how a lack of effort that the Lakers showed and lack of resistance. You got out rebounded 61-36. You gave up 15 offensive rebounds, and most of those, and Jared Vanderbilt had 16 rebounds total. He had 8 offensive rebounds. This guy was all over the court. So, I mean, again, when you have one guy that's dominating pretty much on the boards and in its offensive rebounds, you don't see all 5 bodies in the paint trying to block out somebody. It was, I mean, one possession, you had Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD in the paint, and Jared Vanderbilt just comes and gets out of nowhere and gets a rebound. Nobody blocked out. I mean, that's just coaching, lack of effort, and not having your team prepared to come out and play besides the one run that you had at the end of the third quarter, the one run that you did have. And after the timeout, it was just pretty much all Minnesota, and they would just give whatever they want inside the paint. They had 48 points in the paint as well. They shot the same amount of 3-pointers you shot, and you both were similar at the 3-point line. But again, just a lack of effort, and you had a bunch of turnovers in the game. You had 18 turnovers. So 18 turnovers, what does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna tell you. 18 possessions you didn't get a shot up, including 3 in a row and before half. 3 in a row. So again, I thought Isaiah Thomas and Ken Bazemore making 3 threes and 2 timely shots in the third quarter to make Minnesota's head coach call a timeout. And after that timeout, was pretty much Minnesota on a cruise. And Malik Beasley got hot in that third quarter. Pretty much, he went crazy in that third quarter. Pretty much. So those are the 2 players that kind of stood out to me a little bit.
So Eric, let me ask you a question. We can win in the game. They only had 9 players available. Due to THT, Monk, Dwight Howard, THT being away from COVID. Did that give us any kind of excuse? I'm gonna just say how bad it is. Trevor Ariza, who haven't suited up all year, had to suit up just to give us a body, even though we still wasn't going to play him. Does that still give us an excuse or no in your eyes?
I tried so hard for 30 plus minutes. Dante could tell you in the middle of the stream, I was like, I'm trying to find an excuse in my head. I am trying so hard. I'm looking at this injury report. I'm like, please, please, an excuse come to me, an excuse come to me. And nothing comes to me. Injuries happen to every team. So there's no excuse. They had arguably one of their best players out as well. We had our big 3 still out there. And that's all that matters. We had our big 3 out there. So there's no excuse. And I already know people are going to say, but we won 7 of the last 10. We beat a lot of beat up teams that we should have beat up in the first place. Like those wins don't even feel like wins. I know I always say I'll take the W whenever I can, because at this point, the way the Lakers are playing, I'll take any wins I can. Any wins I can, because we should be beating up on teams like the Timberwolves. I get it. Karl-Anthony Towns is having an all-star type of year. D'Angelo Russell always is trying to get revenge on the Lakers. And Patrick Beverly, bro, come on, man. He's not good, and we made him look good. We keep making these non-relevant players look good.
Right.
And it's crazy to me.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's all about the effort, man. That's all I see, lack of effort. So there's no excuse, regardless of the injury report. Everybody goes through it. Maybe we kind of missed Dwight Howard, you could say, because it's like, damn, we had no aggression on the boards. But even then, Anthony Davis just needs to be more aggressive. Why is he not more aggressive in those boards when he was there? So that just falls on the coaching. Like I said, there's no excuse for this loss. There's just none.
No,
we got smacked.
He should be dominating the glass, especially playing the 5. Because by him playing the 5, like I said earlier, that spreads the floor, right? And then that also allows Russell Westbrook to drive to the basket.
Yeah.
But yet you got a guy that wants to take all these ill-advised shots and not make them. instead of drive to the basket or even be a facilitator. I mean, Russell Westbrook can facilitate more. You know, he could be that guy to facilitate because of his ability to average triple doubles and you know, I don't want to say make everyone around him better because he doesn't do that, but you know, to be that pass maker and to distribute that playmaker and to distribute the basketball. That's what I want to see from Russell Westbrook, but you don't see that. So that's why Frank Vogel, I think, has, you know, Anthony Davis playing the 5. Now, he's better when he plays smaller for some strange reason. You know, he's better when he plays smaller, but Anthony Davis can dominate the game of basketball if he wanted to, you know, but I think it's arrogance, and I think it's the lack of ability to do so, because Anthony Davis can really dominate the boards. He could dominate in the middle, and he could be that effective scorer for this Laker team, but he's not. And then another thing is that he can never stay healthy. That's another issue for him. So, I mean, it's a lot of things that we can talk about when it comes to Anthony Davis. But this Laker team is going to have to play a lot better than what they've played. I mean, it's not great basketball. I mean, this team looks horrendous. This team, I mean, when they come out on the floor, it's like some nights they just look uninspired, as if they don't want to even be there, you know, and that's not gonna win you basketball games if you're disengaged and you're not gonna look like you want to play basketball. You're not gonna win that many games.
And one more thing. Oh,
and nobody's afraid of the Lakers. That's another thing. These teams are not afraid of the Lakers. They're not afraid of them because they have the confidence that they could beat this team.
I'm gonna say one thing real quick. The fact that we had to put LeBron at center doesn't make sense to me. We had a 7'1" rookie on the bench the whole time. And the least you could have done is if you gave AR-15, Austin Reeves, a chance to shine, and he shined, hey, who knows what this 7'1" center could do? He could be better than DeAndre Jordan's trash ass. He could arguably give him a shot. If you ran out of ideas on who could guard Cat, might as well put a 7'1" body on him like that. And let's see what the Rook got. Not saying he would stop Karl-Anthony Towns, but you never know with these rookies. Somebody could shine. AR-15 is a dime. And maybe this 7'1" center, I don't even know his name, could be a gem. You just have to give him the chance. If you really ran out of ideas to put LeBron at center, you had to put LeBron at center. You didn't have to. You had a 7'1" center right there in your arsenal, and you didn't take advantage of that.
That's ridiculous. LeBron is not a center.
Yeah, but it is ridiculous tonight because again, the way they got, it's just like, I mean, the way they got outplayed, and again, you got guys passing up open shots and turning, and they would turn those open shots turn into turnovers consistently. Russell Westbrook doesn't even want to shoot a mid-range shot anymore. He's literally scared to shoot. Like, you got a combination of Rondo and Russell Westbrook in the game, knowing they can't shoot the ball. So Minnesota coach was able to saw that and make an adjustment and said, okay, you want to put Rondo and Westbrook in the game, so you want to try to take the ball out of Westbrook hand and put Rondo. Okay, I'm gonna go to a 3-2 zone on you. But I know they can't penetrate in the paint. They can't break down the paint. I'm just going to make them shoot outside. And Russell Westbrook just didn't want to pull. Carmelo Anthony didn't have it tonight. Wayne Ellington couldn't shoot tonight. So it was an all-around dumpster fire tonight. And that's what's kind of when teams adjust and go to a 3-2 zone on the Lakers, that's the point of you got to have shooters out there. And that's the point where you miss kind of a Buddy Hield right there. Someone that can shoot someone out of that zone, like Reeves right there. He can probably shoot him out of the zone right there. So the Lakers really, outside of Austin Reeves, Malik Monk, Carmelo Anthony, you don't really have a consistent shooter that can shoot at all. And again, if you want to blame the injuries, yes, you still got your big three. You still got Anthony Davis before he got hurt. And you still got Russell Westbrook, who's not giving you really any offense. He's going to give you a couple of good games here and there, but then again, he'll go to those 10-point games and to those 5 turnover games and scared to shoot again. But they also had their beast and stud out Anthony Edwards too. They also had him out, and the game could be to play. The game could have been much more worse, so they could have down and beat the Lakers by 30 on a night like this. So again, I mean, I can't blame the injuries. Injury happens every day, but long as you still got your big 3 out there and healthy, that's what you probably need as long as you got them guys out there. But Frank Vogel just got to get better on his rotations. There's no way Isaiah Thomas just dropped 42 in the G League and all of a sudden he comes to the NBA and be your best player already. That's how bad the night kind of went for the Lakers.
All right. So to end the show, don't go into detail why you think. Just give your team who you think gonna win. This Sunday evening we'll be in Chicago playing against the Bulls. I'm not sure if I know they had a couple players out for COVID. Not sure if they're out. I know DeMar DeRozan is, but I'm not sure if it's Zach LaVine or anybody else. But who do you guys have winning this game? The Bulls versus the Lakers.
I'm going to take the Chicago Bulls just because of the performance the Lakers played tonight. And then it just depends on if they don't got DeMar DeRozan, but if they got Zach LaVine and the rest of their players, I think the Bulls still can beat the Lakers, man. And Anthony Davis is out. That's going to kind of hurt the Lakers. But then again, AD, his ability to not to be aggressive and not to kind of want the ball, not to kind of want to demand the ball. I understand you got Frank Vogel right there that should say, hey, tell him to get him the ball, but you a veteran on this team. You're a leader. You're an NBA champion. You got to want the ball. You got to want to demand the ball like Karl Anthony Towns did all night long. He wanted the basketball. He demanded the basketball, and the Minnesota Timberwolves just gave it to him. Anthony Davis has to be that guy. Anthony Davis got to stay healthy. He got to be a dominant player for the Lakers to go places. He got to want to demand the ball for the Lakers to be successful and to win another championship. If he doesn't be aggressive, I don't care who's the hell guarding him because he's one of the best skilled big men in the league. If that don't happen, the Lakers can't win a championship. Like if Anthony Davis don't show up and be that aggressive player. He's brought there to take a lot of pressure off LeBron James. And LeBron James, the way he plays every night, he deserves an off night. And when he has these off nights, who's going to step up? Right now, you can't trust anybody. Even if Anthony Davis out, you can't trust anybody to kind of step up when LeBron gets on an off night. So, again, I got Chicago. It just depends on if everybody else plays for Chicago. DeMar DeRozan can be out, but if everybody else plays, I'm gonna go Chicago.
It's kind of hard to pick the Lakers after today's performance. It really is. And it sucks because I'm a Laker fan after all. I want this team to win. I that's all I care about, wins. I don't care how they do it. But it's kind of hard to say we're going to win on Sunday, especially after this outing. This Timberwolves team is way below the Chicago Bulls team. Way below. And we just practically should have got blown out. But because of crunch time and people putting whatever players at the end, that's why it looked closer than ever. I'm going to go with the Bulls. They're going to win. And it sucks to say that because I don't want Chicago Bulls to win because we know how Chicago fans are. We all know how they are. They're on their high horse and they're about to dominate us on Sunday. And it sucks. But if this team could turn it around on Sunday, they have to show me something on Sunday. They have to show me. This is their game to show me like, oh, maybe this was a fluke. And maybe all those COVID situations got in their head. And then Sunday they go out and beat Chicago. That's going to prove to me that, oh, maybe it was. But until I see something, I'm going to pick Chicago Bulls on Sunday, man.
Yeah, I'm with the rest of the panel here. I'm going to have to go with the Chicago Bulls. I mean, they're a much improved team. I mean, it all depends, too, if they do have DeMar DeRozan, but they will definitely have Zach LaVine and the rest of that supporting cast. And they just look like the team that can beat the Lakers. You know, the way the Lakers played tonight, I mean, after seeing the way the Lakers performed tonight, anybody could beat this Laker team right about now. I mean, Cerritos High School. I live in Cerritos, California, and Cerritos High School, they suck at basketball. and they could probably beat the Lakers. To be honest with you, I mean that's how awful and bad it is. So I'm gonna have to go with the Chicago Bulls.
Hey, Sleeping Angels, not you, bro. You're a good Chicago fan, man. I enjoy you.
Hey, and I'm gonna roll with the Lake show. I believe this win they gonna be in their feelings. It's gonna piss them off. They know they should have played better. I expect a blazing LeBron. Coming this Sunday, bounce back game. We'll have Malik Monk back. Hey, I just hope we get the win. But gentlemen, this was another great episode of Laker Talk 101. I want to thank my brother Jonathan Mathis for coming on tonight. I want to thank my little bro Eric for coming on tonight. I want to appreciate the big bro Coach Dante for coming on tonight. Gentlemen, we'll be back this Sunday after the Chicago Bulls game, and hopefully our Lakers win. We win. We'll be in a much better mood. We'll be very happy. But until then, we are out.